This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on the South Today, Dunedin protesters have their fire doused after a visit from Fire and Emergency New Zealand. Some Matoda residents are concerned about the increase of young people jumping into the river from the town's bridge. And one of Dunedin's most notable privately owned galleries changes hands in a unique way. Tēnā koutou katoa, kia ora, I'm Simon Anderson. A small group of anti-mandate protesters in Dunedin's Octagon had their brazier outdoor fire removed by Fire and Emergency New Zealand this morning after a number of complaints from the public.
Fire and Emergency staff returned to the Octagon about 10 a.m. and removed a brazier outdoor fire burner which anti-COVID mandate protesters were using. Fens says a crew was called to a small fire around 7 last night and no action was taken. 2 further calls of complaint were made at 9 a.m. and then 9:55 a.m. Both times the Octagon's occupants were spoken to and the fire was extinguished. Fens staff removed the brazier equipment on their second visit of the morning. In Dunedin, the South Today.
Wanaka snowboarder Zoe Sadowsky Sinnott has added to her gold medal from last week by winning a silver medal at the Winter Olympics in Beijing today. The 20-year-old was competing in the big air competition and did very well in her first 2 runs. However, her third and final run saw her attempt a manoeuvre that she failed to land correctly. She lost her chance at a second gold medal to Austria's Anna Gasser. Some Matoda residents are concerned about an increase in young people jumping into the river from the town's bridge. Police and the Matoda Community Board warn the bridge jumpers are putting their lives at risk.
The waters of the Mataura River may look deep enough to jump into, but it's not safe. There's concern from some Mataura residents that young people jumping off the town's bridge into the river for a thrill are putting their lives at risk. The Mataura Community Board says it's not safe because the current and water level often changes, with exposed rock shelves just under the surface. Swimming in this stretch of the Mataura River isn't illegal, but local constable Malachi Watson warns it's fraught with danger.
I'd like to discourage anyone from jumping off this bridge. It's only a matter of time before you or a young person from our community gets hurt.
He's hoping parents will discourage their children from jumping off the well-known bridge, and he believes adults jumping off the bridge are setting a bad example to younger residents.
Please consider that the example that you are giving as an older person is being followed by the younger generation.
In 2005, a man drowned after diving into the river while trying to save a friend who had jumped off the bridge. In Mataura, the South Today.
Queenstown could be about to lose its lustre following the predictions by a local business leader that the whole town could be closed by Friday. Yesterday there were 41 cases of COVID-19 confirmed in Queenstown or Wanaka. Many bars, restaurants and tourist attractions are now listed as locations of interest or places where people with COVID-19 came into contact with other patrons and staff. Queenstown Chamber of Commerce Chief Executive Ruth Stokes says many employees are now isolating and few places will be able to stay open. Local Mayor Jim Bolt is urging all residents to pull together and remain united in dealing with COVID-19. Popping into an art gallery to buy some gift cards resulted in one Dunedin customer buying the entire business over Christmas. Bex Wilson will become the new owner of Dunedin's Quadrant Gallery and says the previous owners have given her a gift.
Turning off the lights of his Dunedin art gallery one last time, artist Dave McLeod started the Quadrant Gallery in Bracken Court in 2007, after the Moray Place building was refurbished following a devastating fire 2 years earlier. From that site he's been selling his own creations as well as those from many other artists. But after 14 years of running the shop almost every day, he's taking a well-earned retirement, although is promising to continue supplying the gallery with his artworks.
I'll continue to make and supply the gallery. I've made an undertaking to works that I'll keep supplying, because my work's been quite a big part of the gallery turnover. But yeah, I'm looking forward to new projects, developing new ideas, and stepping back off the treadmill a little bit.
McLeod was looking for someone with time and passion to take over the business, and he's selling it to former customer Bex Wilson, who only learned it was for sale while buying some jewellery gift cards for family.
And when I came in to get the vouchers, he said to me, "Oh well, maybe you probably need to tell your nieces that they'll need to spend this by Christmas time." And I was like, "Well, why?" And he said, "Well, I'm thinking of retiring, and I'm going to, thinking about closing the gallery if we don't find anyone to buy it." And I was like, "Well, maybe you should show me the books, and I'll have a think about it."
Wilson has previously run a design store in Port Chalmers and is impressed with how McLeod and his wife Anne Jackman have run the Quadrant Gallery.
The gallery has such loyal customers, and people love coming in here or viewing things from the website and giving us a call. So I feel like David and Anne have really given me a gift.
Wilson says she's not planning to make any big changes for the first year while she gets to learn how the gallery runs. In Dunedin, the South Today.
E whākene still to come on the South Today. A Dunedin dance company garners international acclaim, and we go back in time in both Selwyn and Mataura. See you soon.
All new episodes of Put Some Colour in Your Life are now screening on Channel 39. Take a look at Australian artists and the techniques they use in their studio. Put Some Colour in Your Life, Tuesdays, 7:30.
Hi there, guess who? You recognise the eyes? Oh, okay, it's a haircut. Anyway, it's Lindsay here from Alex Campbell Menswear. Our 3 stores are carrying on as usual. Despite what's happening in the world, we have got some great stock for you. Personally, I've spent 50 years in this business, and we have some excellent supplier relationships. We've got great stock, it's hand-picked, it's here, it's on time, and it's ready for this great summer.
Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
So, as my favourite cup says, keep calm and carry on.
Hi, we're Age Concern Otago.
Age Concern Otago hosts a multitude of social activities, including Little Bobs.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
Spark your joy with jazz, the next generation from Honda.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
Every day the team at Gillian supports grieving families at their time of need. From answering your questions to organising a farewell that reflects the wishes of your loved one, we can help. Call Gillian's today.
Inside are all sorts of innovations from all over China.
No mai no, welcome back. A Dunedin dance company is jumping with joy after winning 2 major awards at a prestigious International Sound Future Awards in New York. Good Company Arts won the Best Art Music Video Award for its dance production of Tai Ao and the Best Dance Music Video Award for its production of Tiger.
The video of the dance work Tiger, also known as Silver Lotus, has only just been released and is already winning international awards. The fast-paced and fluid solo dance film also features dancer Ariu Matsuda, a recent graduate of the New Zealand School of Dance. Jazz composer Mark de Clive Lowe was commissioned to work with GCA director and former Dunedin dancer Daniel Belton on the new music and dance choreography. The piece was created to open the Lunar New Year Festival in Wellington and to celebrate the incoming year of the Tiger. The group also won the Best Art Music Video Award for its dance production of Tayo, which they say brings together Māori, Chinese and Tibetan cultures in a dance film series created to be a digital prayer for Mother Earth, or Papatua Nuku. The sounds on the video were created by electronic composer Zhao Zi Han, with dancer Xiao Qi in the role of Daikini, or sky dancer, who traverses the sky. In Dunedin, the South Today.
A section of State Highway 76 in central Christchurch has been closed after a truck and trailer caught fire this morning. Fire and emergency crews were called to the blaze at the intersection of Brotham Street and Waltham Road at about 10 a.m. The driver of the truck escaped after the cab caught fire but was not hurt. Fire crews extinguished the blaze and are investigating the cause. Visitors to Bryden, south of Matoda, were able to view working steam engines and machines over the weekend. Visitors were invited to ride on a steam traction engine or in a vintage car, as well as taking in demonstrations of everything from butter churning to chaff cutting.
Vehicles and traction engines from yesteryear. Everything to do with steam power and farming history was on display over the weekend at the Southland Steam Engine Open Day, located at the club site on a former dairy factory at Bryden, halfway between Mataura and Edendale. Southland Steam Engine Club President Quinton Scandrett says the weekend gave all visitors who had a vaccine pass a chance to enjoy the sights and rides of over 100 years ago.
We've had about 50 people come through the gate today. They've had a chance to get up, have a ride or a steer on a traction engine or on the rides trailer.
He says the club was pleased to demonstrate working examples of restored machines that were once extensively employed on farms in the district.
Some traction engines working out in the paddock and harvest equipment, so thrashing mill, chaff cutter, those sorts of things. So just general experience of steam back in the day.
A new display at the club's museum is the replica of an old-time milking shed, with Evan Sanderson demonstrating a milk separator. He also has a historic milking machine his father rescued from a shed in nearby Seaward Downs.
My father actually put it in a small museum that he had at the Lignite Scenic Stop, and we've brought it from him and installed it here.
The Southland Steam Engine Club has been active for more than 60 years. In Bryden, the South Today.
For farmers, there are a range of technologies on offer today helping save time and reduce costs. But there's still something to be said for the older tools in the shed. That's the case for a group of Selwyn District oat farmers who still cut their crops using vintage machinery developed more than 100 years ago.
Still going strong after many hard years of use. While the farming world has been embracing new technology, many farmers in the Selwyn District still like to hang on to all those old bits and bobs they know work and do the job right. For retired farmer Paul McCartan, the old binders his father used to cut oats and make chaff are just as important today as they were back in the day.
Today they've never replaced a binder. There's not one machine out here at the moment can do this job. And to do it properly, you've got to put it into sheave and stook it like it's done out there, and then stack it and then put it through the chaff cutter.
He says nothing beats a day's work on a binder that's probably older than he is.
There's nothing nicer to see the sheave going out the side, tied, and yeah. Yeah.
A laugh and a joke and a cold beer.
And a beer at the end of the day.
There are a few hassles. To keep the vintage machinery in good running order, McCartan is always on the lookout for replacement parts.
Today you've got to keep buying, every time you see a binder, say you go and buy it, so you got spares. I've got a heap of them.
He doesn't know what will happen when he retires, admitting the younger generation of farmers prefer newer modern machinery, meaning interest in the old tried and true tools is likely to fade. In Rolleston, the South Today.
After the break on the South Today, codes combine in Dunedin for a White Fern Skills Day, and we have your midweek weather. Hei koko ake nei.
All new episodes of Put Some Colour in Your Life are now screening on Channel 39. Take a look at Australian artists and the techniques they use in their studio. Put Some Colour in Your Life. Tuesdays, 7:30.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
Living Well Disability Resource Centre, a not-for-profit charitable organisation and your one-stop shop for information and resources to help you retain independence. We offer a wide range of assistive products from jar openers to mobility scooters and provide assessments for Total Mobility, the half-price taxi scheme. Come and see the friendly team. You'll find us on the corner of George and Bath Streets, ground floor of Burns House.
Hi, my name's Matt and I'm the Dines Group CEO. Dines is a company that's focused on selling logistics solutions to its customers. We're passionate about selling efficiency and we've been selling efficiency for over 50 years now.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
MTF Finance can help you turn the key on your next vehicle with a loan made just for you. TCs and lending criteria apply.
What have you got? Okay. Chicks World, party time, excellent. Love it. Chicks World. Chicks World. Right.
Hoki mai noa. Over the next 18 months, the pinnacle of women's sports is due to be celebrated around the world with 3 major tournaments in rugby, football and cricket. The ICC Women's Cricket World Cup has matches scheduled in Dunedin soon, and budding competitors across the 3 codes took part in a skills session today.
Getting ready for the ICC Women's Cricket World Cup. These pupils are learning cricket skills with Player and Development Officer Sophie Gray.
It's still really exciting to have the girls see that the World Cup is here with events like this and hopefully get more girls involved in cricket at a younger age.
Today's Fern Fever Day also had these St Hilda pupils learning football and rugby skills at the Logan Park grounds. Football South's Sarah Stephen says having a day which is just for aspiring female sports people helps the girls feel more confident.
Basically, yeah, the aim is to get them down to events like this where it's girls only. It's a safe environment where they feel comfortable to learn and grow confidence with, ball skills, and just being in that environment, which is a lot more supportive than potentially a mixed environment sometimes. They've got extra support, small groups, lots of coaches.
Rugby was the third sport on offer. Otago Rugby Football Union Female Game Development Officer Eilish Doyle hopes this week's news of professionalism coming into the women's game can inspire some of these girls.
And it also now allows it to be a real aspirational, you can make money playing rugby now. It's a viable career for women now. Which is outstanding. We've got more and more young girls interested in the game because rather than having to work full-time and try and play rugby, they get to, some awesome, amazing athletes get to play rugby full-time. That's their job now, and so for our young girls it can be a career for them.
Like with the other sports, Doyle says those taking part were learning basic ball handling skills and getting used to being in close proximity with other players. Proximity in sport is an issue, with the nation being at COVID red level 2. St Hilda's Year 7 and 8 Dean, Carla Joint, says the pupils are in the junior school's bubble, but says it's nice to actually see the girls of the junior school outside and unmasked in a safe environment.
It's quite exciting to see the girls' faces because we've had them covered from the nose down, and actually been able to see the whole face and the facial expressions. I think today for the girls to get to know each other a lot more, because they're just in wee subgroups for lunchtime, to actually get to know each other a bit more, those facial expressions are key.
The ICC Women's Cricket World Cup is due to begin next month, with the Women's Rugby World Cup near the end of this year and the Women's Football World Cup in 2023. In Dunedin, the South Today.
And now recapping tonight's top stories on the South Today. Anti-mandate protesters in Dunedin's Octagon have had their outdoor fire doused after visits from Fire and Emergency New Zealand. Some Matoda residents are concerned about the dangerous behaviour of young people jumping into the river from the town's bridge for a thrill. And one of Dunedin's most notable privately owned galleries changes hands, with a former customer set to take over the Quadrant Gallery. And now for a look at what's happening in tomorrow's ODT, we welcome Deputy Editor Craig Page. Kia ora, Craig.
Good evening, Simon. Winter Olympics, it's all about that tomorrow. Of course, Wanaka's Zoe Sadowsky Sinnott claiming silver today in the big year. Yeah, it was a great effort. Adds to a gold, of course, earlier in the Games. Crash landing that final run, which who knows what would have happened then. But her great rival, Austria's Anna Gasser, was able to claim gold. So yeah, great campaign for Zoe though, and you can only take your hat off to her. She's now got the full set of medals as well after winning bronze 4 years ago.
Yeah, that's right.
And it's still only 20 as well, so plenty of time to come. So we've got all the action and reaction about Zoe's success there. COVID, but hard to get away from it at the moment as well, of course. Another primary school and preschool, both in Gore, being identified as locations today. 25 pupils sent home in Gore. More locations of interest identified in Queenstown as well. And more businesses struggling, having to close their doors because some of their staff have been deemed close contacts. So yeah, a lot of pressure going on there at the moment.
Yep.
We'll have the latest breakdown of where the cases in the south are, which is kind of interesting to see as well.
Right.
So, fresh food pages. We catch up with the staff of Queenstown's Ammersfield restaurant. They've been named Restaurant of the Year recently.
Wow.
So good effort there. And we talked to Chef Vaughan Mumby, who's won the Innovation Award as well. So a lot of success up there. They give us the rundown, I guess, about what the key to it is, and a sort of a growing trend of restaurants being aligned to vineyards as well.
Okay.
And the White Ferns in action, going down to the wire as we speak. Amelia Kerr's just hit 100, so we'll have a full wrap of that. And an added bonus tomorrow is that we have our orientation guide for 2022. Of course, it's not going to be the event it was with COVID, but I'm sure they'll make plenty of fun out of it as well. But everything they're likely to get up to will be outlined in that, so worth a lot.
Great, thanks very much.
Thank you.
And time now for a look at the weather.
Tonight's weather proudly brought to you by Mole Map.
Starting with today's Southern View, taken of useful information on a poster in Dunedin. Looking at the situation, becoming fine tomorrow as cool southwesterly winds die out. A fine end to the week for most, ahead of some rain on Saturday. And as we take a look at the centres now, it's sun and cloud for Greymouth and Westport on 19 and 20 degrees. Looking fine at the north of the island, Blenheim on 22, Nelson up to 24. And it's mostly fine for most in Canterbury too, on 19 to 20 degrees, just Ashburton with a risk of showers from the south. Heading all the way south now, the Catlins, Balclutha, Lumsden and Gore can all expect decreasing southwesterlies with the weather becoming fine and a high of 15 degrees. Over in central, Te Anau looks much the same, decreasing winds and clearing skies with a high of 15. Light winds and cloud for the other three centres on 18 or 19 degrees. Further north, it's light winds and cloud inland as well on 19 degrees. Along the coast, light westerlies bringing a risk of showers, so Oamaru on 17, Timaru up to 20 degrees. In Dunedin, showers to develop tonight with colder southwest winds freshening and an overnight low of 13 degrees. Tomorrow, early southwesterlies could be blustery for a time before easing. Showers clear over the morning, becoming sunny in the afternoon. A high of 15 and a low of 5. And it'll be mostly fine on Thursday with moderate northeast winds developing for a fresh and breezy afternoon. A high of 19 and a low of 9 degrees. And Invercargill can expect showers tonight, clearing around dawn with cold southwesterlies and an overnight low of 10. Becoming fine tomorrow as the cloud disperses by afternoon. The cool southwesterlies will die out too for a high of 15 and a low of 4 degrees. And it'll be fine and sunny on Thursday with milder northerly winds developing. A high of 18 and a low of 8 degrees. And that's the news this Tuesday. For the latest news and videos from the southern region, head online to odt.co.nz and you can follow Channel 39 on YouTube to catch our news bulletins on demand. Nō reira, kia pai te pō, ka kite anō.
This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Public interest journalism funded through New Zealand On Air.